Salutations, my name is Summer, and this is Reading with Quaker Cats. I still want to say Sterling reads sometimes. I finished 2 books, and I wanted to let you guys know what books I will be reading for this week and what audiobook I'll be listening to. So, I finished The Perils of the Night, the Sydney Chambers. This is the 2nd book in the series by James Runcie. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I changed my mind about this book. So, in my last video, I said, I think that this will probably be, I might read one more and then that'll be it. And I ended up really enjoying this book. I think I let go of the idea of the characters of who they are in the movie. I mean, the series, the very long series. And started thinking of them as how they are in the book and what is happening in the book, because it is very different. And I just dislike Amanda. Sorry if you like her. She just gets on my nerves. But anyway, in the show, Hildegard, who is his romance, they have just a really small romance. And then she goes off and she comes back for a little bit and then she's off and then that's like done with. In the book, it is very different. Also, I loved, because this did happen in the show where Amanda came back and was like, well, what if we ended up getting married, like after her things don't work out? And he was like, you know, like a year ago or 5 years ago, he would have been elated about that. But now it's too late. He doesn't have those feelings for her like he used to, that, you know, young crush. I really ended up enjoying this. It's a lot more, I feel like it is more serious than the show. And of course the show is all about ratings and all that, right? But I really ended up enjoying this. So this is the problem with having too many books. I'm not for sure if I have the 3rd one. I just found a book in the series, because I pick them up at, like, you know, library book sales and stuff like that. And I do have another book, but it's not the 3rd one. I think it might be the 5th one. So I need to go through all my shelves and see if I have the next one. If not, sometime before the end of the year, I'll be ordering the 3rd book in the series. So the other book that I finished is The Godfather by Mario Puzo. My goodness. I loved this book. I loved the writing. I loved the family. I loved all the different characters. I loved the ending. I love how this book, I feel like it could just be like, that's it. It's a wrap. You know, I do have the Sicilian on a shelf over there, so I do plan on reading that at some point. But I just felt like this was just a wonderful, complete novel. I love how Michael, and I got the DVD, the movie, to watch, because I've never seen it. So this is going to be very interesting, because I am crazy about Marlon Brando and Al Pacino, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how Michael's character transforms. Yeah, it's because in the book, you have this feeling of things are changing as he matures, and also the idea of him being the brother that they were. I don't know. I just kind of felt like, well, they didn't have him really as a part of the family and doing any of the jobs. I mean, that was Freddie and Santino. Which, the whole thing was Sonny, you know, and how people talk about Sonny when he was younger and then how he became an adult, and then like Lucy, how she felt about Sonny, and then that whole thing with Lucy and the doctor and that surgery, and then Johnny Fontino, the surgery that he had to have, which changed his life, and his wife saying, I wish you'd never could sing again. There's just so much in this book that was so good. And this, like I said, I got this at Thrift Books and it didn't have a cover on it, so a slip cover. Anyway, this is going on my shelf. I'm keeping it. Really enjoyed it. So the audiobook I'm listening to is The Good Life by Scott and Helen Nearing. This is 60 years of self-sufficient living. In 1932, they left the city. There's a lot more to it than that, but they decided they wanted to live off the land. They're vegetarian. They don't have any animals that they feel like that they have to take care of or anything. And so that makes it interesting too for me, because usually when you hear about people, you hear about, I can't think of what it's called now, but everybody talks about it, and they have animals, and then so they're killing the animals, and they're working with them in that way, where they are not doing that. And the idea they bought, I can't remember if it was 12 acres or whatnot for $100. It's just, things are so different now. Anyway, I'm listening to this. This is my mom's copy, so it's interesting to see, which I need to ask her, because she might have bought this used, and that the highlights and the underlining might not even be hers. So I need to ask her if they are, though, because I've been going back and forth. There are pictures in here of the house that they lived in, and just pictures of them also. And I can't remember what all else. So I've been dipping in and out, but I've been mainly listening to it, and I'm not very far into it. I only have a half an hour drive to work, and then half of an hour back home. So an hour a day when I for 5 days a week. Okay, so the books that I am physically reading, I need to get back to my buddy read, my Zola buddy read with Ariane. I have less than 100 pages. This is Potluck, and my lighting is not going to be able to let you see it. Oh, there we go. Anyway, this one is so strange. Well, it's not the strangest in the series, but this one is about, apartment house where everybody is sleeping with everybody and lying and betraying people, and there's a lot about materialism, and I think that's what it's supposed to be, like, I don't know, not necessarily a joke, but just like these people aren't any better than anybody else, even though they have money, or they live like they have money. A lot of them do not have money. And how people can hold money over on people and not even give them anything. It's very good, interesting. It's not my favorite. You know what? The very first one in the series is my favorite still. And I want to say this is book 7. I'll have to look and see. We're going by Sean's list which I think is Zola's list of saying how you should read the series. So the other thing that I picked up, and I'm on chapter 5, is Black House. I took the slipcover off. It's easier for me to read. Anyway, so finally in chapter 4, we finally get to Jack. I am enjoying how we were able to look in at all these people. Like mentioned, like a bee, you're overseeing these people. I mean, a lot of them, I didn't want to be seeing this stuff. And at first I'm like, oh great, like here's the darkness again, here's the weirdness again. But then again, it's like there's things that I really like about it. So, and Jack is an adult. It also mentioned like something happened, but he doesn't remember his childhood really and all that. So I don't know. It's going to be I feel like it's going to be a good one. So we'll see. By Stephen King and Peter Straub. This is the second book in the series, if you didn't know that. And I don't even know how long it is. 625 pages, and I'm on page 110. So, okay, so that is what my plans for this week, and I really enjoyed the 2 books that I finished. Very happy about that. I do have a couple more books that I had wanted to read this month that I'm not going to be able to get to, so I have to make decisions on that and figure out where I can fit them in for the rest of the year. So I got to do that. Also, I'm trying to figure out my September TBR. which I'm hoping I can read all 5 books. I did that video where I'm like, that's my mom sneezing downstairs, where I asked like what people thought would be the best book to read, and you know what? It was pretty balanced. I think the 10 Ticket won, so that's like going to be my first priority next week, is to start the 10 Ticket and get into that one. But I'm going to try to read all of them. So just gotta move things around. Anyway, let me know how you guys' reading week has been. I know it's a weird day to do this. Ooh, and it's Wednesday, so I need to check out Jim when he puts his What Are You Reading Wednesday videos. I absolutely love them. So I'm gonna link Jim's books reading and stuff. I think that's what his channel's called. Anyway, I love his What Are You Reading Wednesday videos. So check those out. I hope you have a great week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.